Hello everybody, Happy New Year here from the Makers. Steffi here from the Makers. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas time, some time off, feet up, telly on, nice food, lots of walks maybe, and maybe some nice company that you normally don't see, or maybe you've just shut the doors to everything and you've done your own thing. Whatever you have done, I know that for me, I've had a lovely time. It's been, well, what can I say? Rejuvenating. That's a good word to use. Rejuvenating, and yes, I have spent time with family, quality time. I've been for dog walks every day, which I got out of habit. I got back into going to the gym, so that's been really good. And I have worked a lot on my dragon, and I'm just gonna reach him now. Bear with me. Oh God, he's big. We're here, by the way, to unbox the sub boxes. So, see his bum first. There you go. That's the dragon. He's a good size actually. I've had fun with mixing the colors to make rainbows, as you can imagine and as you can see. So he is, at the moment, he is a winter retreat project. The idea is that people come and design their own dragon. He's got fire coming out of his mouth at the moment. He's fully posable, so you can pose every single bit from the tail end to the toes. Everything's posable. His legs, and he can stand, so he can be like a really fierce upright dragon, and it's all very sturdy and really I've used a new technique which I'm more than happy to share. And so yeah, that's basically the dragon that is going to be made by the winter retreaters on the 21st to the 23rd of January. Now, it is not too late to join. If you want to join, you can. You need to drop us an email, info@themakers.co.uk. It's going to be a small group. We have run these with up to 20 people, but I think we're probably more around half that number of people this time. And it's a big country house. We have got lots of space, and we will do all we can to keep you safe, of course. So yeah, do drop us a line if you want to join. It's a residential workshop, 2 nights, and everything that you need will be provided and more. You will get things you didn't even know you needed. So that's basically it. Let's say hello to some people here who've been waiting patiently. Alicia is here to support. Thank you, Alicia. Diane is there. Margot is there. Everybody's saying Happy New Year. Diane says she's been making toadstools for the animals in the wood. It's a great project to keep adding to. Don't know quite how to stop. Well, I know that feeling. With a dragon, I wanted to continue going, but I'm trying to keep him as basic as possible so that others can add the details to it. Alicia is there. Gina is there. Bridget is there. Happy New Year, everybody. Angela is there. Awkward Prawn, good morning. Michael is there. Hello, Michael. Lorna. Vampire Venom, Carol is there, hello, and Rachel is there, maybe not with Daniel, I don't know, she didn't say. Helen is there, Catherine, happy birthday, Catherine. Hope you're having a lovely day today. So yeah, happy birthday. Alex is there, Laura, Donna, hi from Franklin. So this is US. Pauline is there. Hello, Pauline. Daniel upstairs with a nasty cough. Oh, not COVID, thank goodness. Oh, bless him. Give him our love. Yeah, that's it. So a few of you are here to see the unboxing of our subscription boxes, and you can see the projects are hanging up. They're in a wreath or in a loop this time. So the Ivy Fairy is sitting in a swing, holding on with her hands, and the Lovebirds are here as well. Just ever so slightly out of the picture. I might be able to bring them in a little bit. Come on, you. Don't be shy. There. Anyway, I'll show them to you close up in a minute. Now they're turning their backs. But how about we start with a surprise box today? Surprise box is themed Green Fingers. Now on our Everyone, no, not on our Everyone Maker, on our Facebook group called the Surprise Box Spoiler Group, you can see the contents of this box already. Today I'm not going to show you the contents because the whole idea is that it is a surprise box and you get a surprise. However, not everybody likes surprises, and sometimes you want to know what you're buying, and it's still a surprise looking into it and feeling whatever is inside. But I'm going to have a look now and just hopefully give you a lot of teasing noises so that you feel tempted to get them. So we have got in there are this time 4 fibers. Let's do it that way. 4 fibers, 1 accessory, and 2 other craft materials. So and then there is a freebie in there as well, another accessory freebie. So you're getting quite a good bit of quite a lot of treats in there. And then we have got the fairy folk is the next themed box in February. That hopefully will coincide with the Making Fairy Folk needle felting book that's coming out in February, which you can pre-order now, and we post it to you as soon as it's there. I'm afraid that's all I'm allowed to show you because it is our surprise box, Green Fingers. So if you are into flowers, plants, or maybe you try and make flowers and plants grow and they don't, these probably will, because you don't have to water them. So that's the surprise box for January, Green Fingers. I should also say that this unwrapping of the box will be repeated on Thursday at 7 p.m. live on our Facebook page, The Makers, with 2 S's. So please do come and join us if you want to see it, because you've got to go now, or maybe tell your friends and family, and do give us the thumbs up on our live streams as well if you haven't subscribed yet. And I still keep getting messages and saying, oh, when are you doing this and when are you doing that? And if you are subscribed to our channel, then you get a notification. You get a notification when something gets listed to be a live stream, but you also get notification when I'm actually live. So you get it literally there into your inbox. The makers are live now, and then you can tune in straight away. So we have a slight change to our unwrapping of the boxes in 2022, in that I am going to show you techniques and tips and little parts of the making of the maker's box. So today that would be the Lovebirds, but the fairy itself will be made from beginning to end on another live stream in the month. So that is basically how and that let's talk about that, because the next live streams coming up today obviously is the sub boxes unwrapped. Then we've got the small snowy owl, which the kit is still available to buy for next week Tuesday, which is at 1 o'clock. That's our normal make along time. And then the following week, the 18th of January, is where you can get your fairy box and make along, or you can watch it and then make it another time. Alicia runs Zoom meetings as well, where you can do it in a more in a smaller informal group, less public or whatever. And you can all felt together, but maybe it helps to see how the fairy is made beforehand. So that basically leaves me now to have a look inside the fairy box and have a look at the fairy itself too. Right, let's see. So here we are, fairy box. As I said, she's swinging on a ring, this one, and this is the real version there. She's really, really cute. She's actually got, the difference is that this one is the first one that has got a white wool for the skin color. She has got a really puffed up skirt. These little leaves here that are imitating ivy leaves, they are actually needle felted separately. So that's a different new technique. Obviously, we've never had a fairy on a ring, and you do get these lovely sort of almost transparent ivy leaves to go with the whole project as well, which you can sew onto the ring that you will be making yourself. So it's a wire inside, and you wrap it with wool. Now she is holding on to the wreath, so that there's nothing else. She's literally just has got her little arms bent to hold onto the wreath, so she's completely independent from it, and that's how she's sitting on it and also holding onto it. So the wreath can be bent into place so that her hands and her arms can reach, and her little hands can grip around it, and then she is swinging like a happy little ivy fairy swinging on a swing. So what's inside the box? I always mean to prepare the box so that I don't have to cut it open. We have to sellotape these boxes up because they are usually so fully stuffed that they pop open if we don't do that. So I do apologize for having to be a bit heavy-handed here now. Let's get this open. There. And the box itself is the usual one. We have our the Ivy Fairy newsletter in there as well. New year, new fairy. Nothing grows better than ivy. And this New Year's, our Ivy Fairy is here to help us do exactly that. Swinging on her vine covered hoop, she's the perfect fairy to celebrate the start of another rotation around the globe. And so we've got coming up in February the Bluebell Fairy, and in March the Lily of the Valley Fairy. I'm really looking forward to both of those. And as always, we've got our sub club discount code. You get 20% off on the sub club products, and these are including this month the multi-tone tops, the all of the glue-in eyes, all felting needles, white sparkly stuff, and large peacock butterfly pack. And on the back of here it tells you how to manage your subscription. Now the fairy is slightly different from the subscription box at the moment in that you can buy a single fairy box without subscribing, but if you do subscribe you save yourself 20%. You can skip boxes, so if there's a fairy that comes up and you're not so sure you like the look of it, then you can skip that box and unskip it another time. You can skip up to 6 months in one go, and that goes for the Makers box as well. In your box, as always, you get your instructions in there. On the front it tells you all the materials that you need to complete the whole project. Another page there. And you see all of this more in detail when I'm actually doing the fairy during the live stream in 2 weeks' time. You have got in here, in your fairy box, the leaves that I was telling you about. These here, I won't unpack them right now. You get quite a few of those. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get your fine felting needle in this fairy box. Get a chocolate to keep you sustained. You get an eco wool mat. Now, if you are starting to collect lots and lots of these, I am thinking currently of lots of ways of how to make them use in the future, so they might not continue to be a felting mat, but if you have a fairy box each month, then you will have 12 of these at the end of the year. So I am working on ideas of what you could be making with these, felting and craft related. I've already got quite a few ideas and some tie in with live streams as well. You get your white wool, which is the Australian merino, to make the head and the hands. And then you've got the same type of wool, Australian merino bats, but this is the olive green, which is sort of making her petticoat. And then you've got the multi-tone in green, which has got the perfect ivy colors in there, and that is to make her her skirt, but also the cover of the loop. And then you have the dyed dark chocolate New Zealand merino there for her hair. She has got the hairstyle is she's got sort of bunches here on the side that are tied up with a bit of green wool and a side parting, so it's quite sweet. You also use that brown to make her eyes, and then you have in here the flamingo colored mountain sheep, and that is for to make a mouth. This will make you about 50 mouths of fairies. And for the wings you get this special fiber, which I just have to remind myself which plant it is from. It's a bamboo fiber, so this will literally become the wings. You can already see them, really easily made. And then you've got your flexible steel wire in there, which you will need. And you also have got a wire here for the loop to make the whole loop of the fairy. And let's have a look. That is basically it. Just double checking I haven't missed anything. Yeah, that's it. Great. Here we go. All good. So I'm going to go to the bigger camera now, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack the maker's box. I'm going to keep all of this safe because I need this in 2 weeks' time, when I will be making the fairy along with you. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't got your box yet, if you're getting a subscription, you can bring your payment date forward. So you can tell us that you want your box sooner. You can manage your subscription in exactly the same way as you can skip boxes. You can also bring the date forward. So that is something else that you can do by managing your subscription. You can also change the payment day forever, so you can always say, oh, I want this always on the 1st of each month, or near enough. And so that is all possible by managing your own account. Right, I'm going to hang this fairy up again. I just have a quick check. Oh gosh, what's going on here? She's gone a bit lopsided. She's on a very thin or invisible thread, so thin I can't even see it. And I'm going to hang her up here again so you can, she's probably going to turn her back to you now. That seems to be what all the projects are doing when I hang them up. They're always very antisocial. Come on then, up you go. Oh gosh, no, she's not having any of it. There. Which way is she going to swing? Ah, I knew it. It always is like that. Okay, let's turn this round and then see what happens. She's probably still going to turn her back to you. The hours I have spent to try and make things face the right way. Okay, we'll just let's just see what everybody is saying here. Oh, Sarah is here. Hi, Sarah. Sarah from Needle Felting UK. If you don't know who she is, go over onto Facebook and look for the original Needle Felting UK group, and you get lots and lots of good tips and see many makes that people are creating, needle felting, and sometimes other woolly related things as well. So trying to catch up from where. And Alicia will be at the winter retreat as well, so she's going to be the expert help that I will need. She's going to make the dragon beforehand from the instructions that I will have sent to her by then. See, I told you she doesn't want to face forward. Look that way now. Be nice. No. Awkward Prawn says she loves the bird. I think you mean bird, or do you mean beard? Oh, the beard. Oh, the dragon. The dragon, that's fire spewing, but it could be a beard, I suppose. Or maybe I'm sending the I'm probably getting everything muddled up. Vampire Venom says, I noticed that you're doing more of a serpent belly than a lizard belly. Well, do you know what? I have absolutely no idea what the difference is, and I was just doing a belly. Anybody can do their own belly. It is a complete designer dragon, so you don't have to make a belly. I just thought something needed to be there. So what does a dragon belly look like? Somebody please tell me that. Carol says, I can't wait to make the red dragons. Red dragons are the largest and most powerful of the dragons. Oh, well, there you go. I had a red dragon in me and it needed to come out. So, Lorna says, would love to time, but not this time. We have got a summer retreat and we have got the dates for that as well. And I have promptly forgotten when that is, but it's in July. Nikki is there. Hello, Nikki. Oh, gosh, I can't actually read that at all. But we've got a new viewer. I'm not even going to start reading that because But anyway, Nikki is there. Happy New Year, everyone. Lovely to be with you all. Welcome. Oh, and the other Donna is here as well. Hello, Donna. Marian is there. Heather is there. Hello, Heather. Donna says the retreat is fabulous. If you're thinking about it, go for it. You will not regret it. I know we met you for the first time last year at exactly the same venue, and the thing that mostly stays in my mind, and that I'm terrible like this, are the best roast potatoes I've ever eaten in my whole life. And many other people might agree. We had fantastic food, and we will have fantastic food again because it's the same venue and the same chef. I hope in the same kitchen. So. Awkward Prawn says, loving the surprise boxes. Oh, Diane, thank you for reminding me. Thinking of the pet portraits. So the pet portraits workshops are still available to book. They are run by Sophie Wheatley, who is the expert of pet portraits. She's definitely wonderfully realistic with her take on pet portraits, and she will be teaching you how to do exactly that. If you're not into pets, you can also join her for a weekend of making any other animal in wildlife settings. So that's basically happening in March and in April. These are non-residential, so whilst they are at the weekend, you will have to find your own accommodation. But where they are taking place in Nailsworth, it's a beautiful little Gloucestershire old market town, and it's a lovely place. I'm sure you get some very reasonably priced Airbnb, or if you need help with finding a hotel, we can help you with this too. Oh, Sarah says she usually has to watch the catch up. I'm assuming you've still got a day off before you have to head back to school. Catherine says she's hoping to possibly go to the summer retreat. The virtual hug last year was good. Yeah, we did in lieu of not being able to meet face to face. We did weekend hugs, and there is still the possibility that we might be looking at doing one. I'm not quite sure yet. We've got a new viewer here, Lisette. Do give us a thumbs up, everybody watching. And Diane says, oh, I'm waiting for this month's boxes. I have also pre-ordered Steffi's new book. So much to look forward to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody loves the Ivy Fairy. Yes, you can make 2 lovebirds with this month's box. Absolutely. We could possibly, it would be the cruelest thing on the planet for you to only make 1 lovebird, because they're so known for being like, that's why they're called lovebirds, because they have to be in 2s. You could turn them into little cottages or gingerbread houses. Oh, the earth mats. Yeah, brilliant idea. Yeah, why not? You can sew them together maybe, or felt them together, or cover them with wool and felt them. Vampire Venom says, I have a few wool mats, but use my earth friendly, thinking of using them as 2D pieces. Great idea. I'm loving this already. Who said chocolate? Yeah, well, you will be spoiled with us and chocolate. I promise you that. Oh, Fandamer is there. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Diane says she's loads of fiber left over in the Animals in the Wood project, received the wool that was missing, but didn't really need it as mixing of colors worked so well. Oh, thank you, Diane. We had such a nightmare with all this stuff, so it's nice to hear some positive feedback. I know everybody loved the project itself. It was just there were a lot of confusions happening with wool at our end. New blue backdrop, Steffi. I missed the rainbow one. It's behind it. It's behind it. I actually noticed everything's blue. I don't want it to be blue as in we need to feel blue. I thought it might be sort of like a nice icy crisp look, but I will take it off again. I promise you. I just thought I'll just keep it a bit icy blue still for another week or so. Erica says Happy New Year, Steffi. Thank you to you too, Erica. Oh, that go across. Okay, right. So Vampire Venom says snakes have long scoots that go across the entire width of the belly. Lizards have individual scales on their belly. Oh, I didn't know that. You see, there you go. Right. Okay, so my connection here, I should just say, because somebody says the screen keeps freezing. My connection here is excellent. That's basically but if anything's freezing at your end, it's your fault, not mine. That's it, basically. Right, let's have a look at the Makers Box. Okay, overhead camera coming. Makers box is as always in this box here, same as the surprise box, same size. You have got in here your that's the 2022 newsletter. Let's have a look what's on the other side. It's how to make a snowdrop flower. So some of you might already have seen this before, because last year the Snowdrop fairy had one of these in her hand. But if you want to know how to make a very simple, quick and easy snowdrop, then this is it. No needle felting required, just a little bit of wire, glue, some felt pieces, and you've got your template there, and you use a little bit of wool to wrap it all up, or you could use florist tape for that matter. Here are the instructions, and we have had changes happening to the instructions. Now, I'm really happy to receive feedback, but please don't demolish it if you can. Reason being, all of you know that we have lost quite a few members of staff last year, just because they needed to move on. And I have a very I'm very philosophical about people who need to move on. You must never stop them moving on, because what's the point? They just need to move on, so you have to support their moving on. And one of them was Emma, who has been an absolute treasure in terms of editing instructions and getting all the graphic design right. And I'm already looking at this with critical eyes myself, and I think, oh, the photos aren't as well edited. And so we've got a template on the back of it, and it does the job, but it would not be the way that Emma has done it. But I'm loving it, but for different reasons. So I'm just saying it up front. Be kind with your feedback if you want to give us some. Other than that, the format of the instructions has stayed exactly the same. And so you get on the front a whole list of what you need and what is in the box. Remember, your first subscription box comes with a full tool set. Consequent boxes do not, so you will have to use the tools that you've already got. The birds are about 18 centimeters tall, which is the life size of a lovebird. And then you've got your step-by-step instructions in here as well. And what I'm going to show you today is from this picture onwards. I'm going to show you how to mix and shorten fibers, how to add it to the bird, and I will also show you at the very end how to fasten the birds onto the wreath, how to put the legs on there, and how to get all of that sorted. So there are two separate technical parts to the unboxing today. And lovebirds. Love is in the air. A little birdie told us that these two can't stop tweeting sweet nothings to each other, hanging together in a beautiful wreath. They really are the perfect pair. And next month we've got coming up a realistic robin with a realistic chick, and they're in a nest, and in the nest there might be some eggs. So that's what the next month's is the box. The sub club is exactly the same as with the fairy. You are getting in your box the vine wreath, so that's a given. And then you also get in your box the wool to make the lovebirds. Now, because you're making two, you will have to split all of the wool in two straight away. So do that first up, so that you can make your two birds. You have in here a string to hang your wreath up. You have got lanolin rich core wool in there, our favorite. You get in there a new multi-tone top, which you will have to split in certain ways. So I'm going to first of all, you're going to split it in half. I'm going to show you how to do that. So don't pull hard, do the opposite from what you intuitively want to do. Gently let the fibers slither away. There you go. Oh, I love doing this. And then you've got your two halves now, so that's already split in half. As I will be using these in a minute, I've done it already. The same with the blue top, so you will have to split this in half. You can split this in half that way, or you might struggle to do that because the fibers might not be very long. Oh no, it does work. Half there, half there. You will have to split this in half, which is the grey top as well. Half, half. Everything has to be split in half, including the lanolin rich core wool, including the neon green, half half. That is a little bit extra in there by looks of it, so I'm just gonna put that there as a reserve. And then this is for the beak, half and half. and the rest will come to in a minute, but I will take it out. So you have a green shorter wire that will help the birds getting fastened to the wreath, and then you have these pipe cleaners. Now these are exactly like the extra strong cotton pipe cleaners, but these are unbleached, and believe it or not, but they are the perfect texture and color for lovebird feet. So we don't even have to do anything with these other than wrap them around the wreath to make the legs, and I show you how to do that in a minute too. And then of course you need your eyes for the glue-in eyes, and this particular lovebird, I think it's called, oh, I've forgotten now what the type is. I'm pretty certain it's called is it the Schneider's lovebirds? There are a few different type of lovebirds which have got which are the kind of birds that you keep at home, that are sort of like pet lovebirds. And so I'm just putting half of everything in the box because I only need one half. And so basically they have got those color feet, and they have got the white rings around their eyes and the white across their beaks. And let's have a look at the birds, because they're sitting here or hanging here all patiently in their wreath. Let's take this off. Oh dear, how did I fasten that on? There's a lot of twisting and doing. There we go. Right, there are the birds. Let's have a closer look at them. So there's two of them, and you can make two from the box as well. They have got the white rings around their eyes and on the top of their beak. And let's have a look at the back. The reason why they're wobbling around is because I haven't fastened them in properly yet, because I want to show you how to do that. So that's why they are a little bit jittery in that ring, but that's only because I haven't glued them in yet. So I'm going to sit them here, or try to anyway. Will you stay there? Yes, yes, no, yes. And I'm going to show you now two steps on this prepared bird. And the first step that I'm going to show you now is how to mix the fibers and how to shorten them. So for this, I'm going to go to the overview scene. Right, you will have got to this stage by using the template on the back and of course the instructions. And just to prove, this is the template and this is how the bird fits into it, and it's pretty much a perfect match. So that's how far you would have got. And I am showing you now how to mix the fibers, and it's starting on page 5 of our instructions. So I was telling you earlier that you've got your multi-tone wool mix here, and the first thing you need to do is to split the colors. So you're going to split as much of the green out as you can, the true green, no contamination if you can help it. So get the green and keep anything else out. Green. Then you do the same with yellow. Just get the yellow out. Yellow. And then you're going to do the same with orange. So you've got 3 colors that are uncontaminated, and then you've got one that is contaminated, that has got all the colors still running through it. You might be able to tease out a little bit more of the orange and maybe one or the other color. So go for it if you can, but as long as you've got a good amount of green and yellow there, and don't worry if the other stuff gets muddled up, that's absolutely fine. There, even teased out a little bit more. So I've got my 3 separate colors now here, and I've got one that is slightly contaminated, exactly how it shows you here in the picture. So now you take a wisp of the green tops you've just separated, which is this one here. So you tease off a wisp like that. Got a wisp here, maybe a bit more. There. And try to sever into slightly shorter lengths. So this is where I was will show you now. This is a technique that you might not have done before. There's actually a little bit of yellow in there, so I'm going to take that out. And to shorten the fibers, you have to hold onto them really tight and you tear them. So this works best with fewer fibers in your hand. So this time you're actually not letting them slither away, you're actually allowing them to be severed, to get shorter. You can do it quite well. If it's too hard, then just use less fibers. So now what was quite a long patch of fibers has now become quite short. So you can make them quite short, which is of course what we like about the wool butts, because they're short fibers and the wool tops tend to be quite long. So I've now got a nice short batch of wool, short length batch of wool here. And that you make sure that you lay them back on top in the same direction, which is what you saw me do. So I tear it on top again. I'm not mixing them, I'm keeping them running from side to side rather than crisscrossing them. And then you are going to felt these down with your fine needle onto the underneath of the bird's tail. So there's the bird's tail. You lay them out underneath, and you're laying them out in the direction how you imagine the bird's feathers will run. So obviously the tail feathers will go from side to side as well, from the tail end up to the top or the other way around. And that is exactly how you lay down the fibers. Now I'm using a fine needle. I'm using a fine twisted needle here, but you can also use the fine standard needle, which is the green colored needle, and you're felting this down onto the underneath of the bird's tail. So his tummy is here, he's pointing, he's lying back flat on his back. Felt these down and color them in. If you have got a 42 twisted needle, then you can use that at the very end to make to really finesse the fineness of the finish at the very end. But just use the fine needle right now to felt this down. Okay, so then you're going to turn it over, and next you're going to do the same with the blue tone tops, but this time from the top of the tail. So the reason why we're doing the bottom of the tail first is because when you step into it, you push some of the green fibers to come out the other end. So that's fine. So we're going to put this to one side, and now we're using the blue top fibers, and we're doing the same by mixing them and shortening them. So you can, if you want to, you can pick a particular vibrant blue or paler blue from here, or you can just allow the whole blue to get mixed up. This is the only time you're using the blue, so you will not have to use any more, so you will have plenty of fibers there. And you're tearing them again exactly in the same way as you did before. Got quite a lot there to manage. So I'm tearing the fibers again, shortening them, laying them on top of each other again. And if, as said, if you need to work in smaller batches, then do so. It's a very lovely, vibrant blue, just what the not the bluebirds, just what the lovebirds have got. They've got this really bright blue peeking out. And I have got a colleague at work, and she has got lovebirds, and I've asked her, how do these look? Do they look realistic? And she says they're absolutely a great match. So then you lay the wool on top of the tail this time. So the green is underneath. This time you're going on top. Don't have to use everything. And felt that down. I'm just going to see if I've got a green needle that I can show you the difference. Is that green? Yes, let's use a fine. It's actually better with a, I think it's better with a green fine needle. It's less, yeah, it's just, I mean, those twisted needles are great because they work really hard. They work really well for you, like they're hard little efficient little workers. But actually the green top needle, the standard needle, is slightly better because it's coloring in the surface more rather than felting the whole thing. So what might happen is that you've got a bit of white showing, and you can just cover that up with the blue and felt that down. And important is to know that we're working from the tail up towards the head because that's exactly how the feathers would be layered. So the next layer of feathers would go over the feathers underneath. So this is basically now adding the green, the blue onto the top of the tail. Now, if the blue gets pushed out, it doesn't matter so much. At least the top where the blue is nice and uncontaminated. And I've still got, this is still wool left from the half that I split, that I've got for the bird. So at the moment, you don't have to worry about this bit here, what that looks like, because you're always overlayering the next color on top of that edge. You just have to make sure that the part here, which nothing else will happen to now, is going to look nice and neat. Now we've got the gray to do. Again, you've got a lot of gray there, and you're shortening the fibers here as well. It's quite a long fibered one here. Shorten the fibers. So you add some of the wisps of the shortened grey tops so that they overlap the blue. Note that you will felt the wool down in the direction of how the feathers would run, but also felting feathers down in the order they will appear. So this is what I've been talking about, so that they're basically the grey overlays slightly the blue, whereas it's not the other way around. So just lay them out. You can work in smaller batches, so make sure you get a nice wispy transition here, just as you'd imagine the feathers to sort of melt one into another. And I think that's part of the success of the Lovebird, is that you get that lovely transition going. And every Lovebird is slightly differently sort of colored. Some have a bit more of this or the other color, so don't worry too much if yours shows less gray or more gray. As I say, they all are slightly different. And that's just how nature does things. Nothing's ever exactly identical. So you have a bit of freedom there, not to make an exact carbon copy. And then felt this down as well. So to smooth out the stab marks, that it tells you in the instructions as well, but I might as well tell you now. At the very end, when you've finished with your bird, you can go over it with a finer needle, with the 42 twisted needle, or even with the crown needles, which are new in our assortment. So you can buy them from us now. They're opal colored, so that's a new color we've added into it. The other thing you can do is you can actually smooth it out quite a bit by going over it with your hands. That makes a lot of difference too, to smooth out the colors. So now you can see the transition is all happening here. And then you're going to continue from the front. And here you are now using the neon green, which is a wool bat. And these need to be teased out into wispy layers. So you're now making a lovely transition to that darker green by, I'm already loving this bird, or just by adding these colors into it. So you're now adding the wool down here. You will get, at some point, you will get into a situation where you're not quite sure what's happening on the sides, but remember that the wings need to be added yet. So there will be a large area of the bird will be covered up by the wings that you're adding. So don't worry too much about the sides at the moment. Just add these lovely wispy fibers, these lush green zesty fibers onto the bird to cover that lower part. And work with really small quantities. You do not need to lay a lot on. Just work with a wispy, dusty, dust, like a cover of dust, dusting even, not a dust. Dusting, like cake dusting, that kind of dusting I'm talking about. And you see how beautiful the colors sort of melt into each other. It's just, I love it, love it, love it. So the neon green will also have to cover the side of the bird halfway up, because the rest is going to be be covered by the wings, as I said before. But just to cover the white, go over that part here. And the gray area is literally where, if they part their wings, you can see sort of a little bit of gray at the top. So the wings will cover some of that gray up. And just felt that on. all around. And I'm just going to see if I go to the next page, or this will have probably given you enough of an idea of yes. So once you've got the that green part, then you take the lighter of the yellow tops, take some off. So this is something we haven't done yet. We haven't mixed the wool yet. So you take some of that and you take a little bit of the green, and now you're going to have to mix it and at the same time shorten the yellow fibers. So you're doing this all in one go. You're going to make a mix that is a nice transition color from the that lime green, that really vibrant neon green, to the next color, which will be the yellow. And so mix that together. So now my yellow fibers are the same length as the green fibers. So that I'm such a great fan of mixing fibers. I absolutely love it. This is why we have got this service, Find a Fiber. You can message us, and we'll find the right color combination for you. And you can see now that the green fibers of the yellow sort of melt into the green fibers that were down there all by themselves, and you can just felt that down with your fine needle and get that bird covered up slowly but surely. And the way and which part goes first and where does it go is all in the instructions, all ready for you to follow step by step until you have the whole bird covered. So I could be covering the whole bird now, but I'm not going to, because this is basically now a repetition of what I have been doing, and I'm going to leave it there. But you can see that the colors are coming together of that the typical colors of the lovebird, which are the vibrant blue at the bottom of the tail with a bit of gray showing, and then you've got all the colors coming up the top until you get to the full color mix here, and you can see it all coming together, and where the wings will be sitting later. And I'll leave that here for now. So hopefully that has given you a good idea of how to mix the colors and how to get started with this. And the only other thing I will do with the bird now is I'm going to show you how to fasten the birds onto their perch, onto the wreath. And as I said earlier, I haven't got these fastened on properly yet. But basically what you will be doing is you've got your wreath here. So I'm now showing you how to fasten the birds onto the wreath and how to fasten the legs onto it so that you've got the birds sitting there with their legs underneath. Now we are not going to fasten these legs onto the bird. This is the whole it's a simplified version of how to do it. And I'm going to go overhead with the camera again. We just find the right page on the instructions just to make sure that I'm not doing anything different from what I've been telling you. Here we go. Right. That's how you fasten the birds onto the wreath. So you have got in your pack a shortened wire here, which is, let's just have a look. It is 17 centimeters long. So it's basically one of the green wire stems that we sell cut in half. And now you're going to have to bend this so that you have got almost like a horseshoe, but with square bases, which so use the green wire stem and bend in as above with a length of about 4 centimeters between the longer sides. So you have in the middle, if it's 7, I've got to do the maths now, don't I? So 17 centimeters less 4 is 13. So then it is not really, it doesn't really matter if it's completely mathematically correct, but if you get this to be about 4 centimeters, then that will determine. So I've just bent it now, having the bit in the middle 4 centimeters and the sides are roughly the same. If one of the lengths is slightly longer than the others, so be it. But you've now got your little open rectangle shape wire, and now you've got to find the right place. So this will go into the base of the wire, so you have to jiggle it through your wreath, finding the gaps, and the green bottom of that will disappear into the wire. So push it in as far as you can possibly do that. And then you've got these two green bits sticking out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the felting mat underneath it because I think you can see it better there. So you've got those two green bits sticking out, and those two green bits need to sit inside the bird. For this, you need to poke a hole into the belly of your bird. Now you can do this with an awl, or you can prepare it with a felting needle and then use a skewer. You could, yeah, a knitting needle, anything like that. I can't actually remember. Or you could start with a felting needle, but poke a hole into the underneath of your bird where you imagine the legs to come out. So that's sort of quite far up. Just, I don't know, it's almost sort of halfway from the tail to where the belly comes. And then give it a try. Put the bird on there. So jiggle the wire in there. And then once you know that the bird sits on your wreath properly, you can take it off again. And now you're going to cut one of these pipe cleaners into half. And each half of it makes a set of legs. So feet even. So the color of the lovebird's feet is that sort of almost beigey color. And what you need to do now is you need to fasten one bit of the wire in and then go round it. So that makes two toes. And then on the back you insert the wire so that it disappears. So now you've got one set of toes here. And then you're going to do that on the other side of that green wire poking out again. So poke the wire in so that it sort of catches. You could do it even a little bit lower. They have very long toes. Poke that in and then go round again and do the same, secure it at the back again. So just poke the wire in there. You can add a dab of glue. It stays in place, but now you've got two toes and your bird can sit on top of it. So you have to jiggle that in again. And the way to fasten the bird in is to glue it in, basically. So once you've got it in the right place and you know that he's sitting on top of his feet, and then I would do the other bird next, because they're meant to be really cozied up together and close together. So you repeat that on the other side, and then all you're going to do is use a little bit of glue, add it into the bird where you've made the hole there. I'm using the stick it glue bottle. This is getting quite empty. I'll keep it in my pot. I keep it facing down so that the glue runs into the nozzle part, and then let it dry. So that should fasten the bird in, and you will have also fitted the second bird on there, and then you can finish it by fastening it on properly. And that's basically how you fasten the birds in. You could glue them even a little bit more onto the wreath, and then you've got your thread that the colored rainbow colored thread that is actually the color of the bird, to hang your wreath up and then decorate your home with it. And definitely make two, because lovebirds need to be in twos. That's why they're called lovebirds. And maybe this is a nice Valentine gift, or maybe you just want to keep it all to yourself. Either way, that's how you fasten the bird onto the wreath. So I hope that has all been helpful today. I can't wait to see your lovebirds as they are emerging. I've got two on each wreath now, so I've got to move one across. And as I said, to smooth out the surface, use a really fine needle. There's a lot of stabbing involved, but it's quite superficial, the stabbing, because you just want to make sure that the top is is really, really smooth. And if you need to, then you can smooth it down with your hands. The wool itself is a very fine, most of it is Australian merino, so it will not be, there won't be any bits sticking out if you go over it with a fine needle, either a very fine 42 twisted needle or one of the new crown needles, or definitely use the green topped standard fine needle for that too. That's all from me today. I'm just going to have a quick check-in what people are saying. Awkward Prawn says, really fantastic. I can't wait to get started. Diane says, oh, hang on a second. Choosing healthy birds. Oh, look. Oh, hang on a second. I'm missing. This is my problem. I always read from the bottom up. Okay. Fisher Lovebird, that's it. That's it. Fisher Lovebirds. Thank you very much, Gina. I knew it was something sh and sounding German, but I said Schneider. That was the wrong thing. So, that's it. Oh, we've got a new viewer here as well. Dillis is there, who says, "Wow, wow, wow, back." And did I tell you what next month's surprise box is? I can't remember now. Let's just double check. I can't remember if I told you. Oh yes, it's right. It's the Fairy Folk box. That's right. So you know all the next boxes as well. And I hope to see you with a snowy owl on Tuesday next week. And just while I'm at it, I'm just going to show you that we have got a few charity makes going still, so you can still get your little bear for the Liver Trust, which is not until the 3rd of February, so there's plenty of time to get your box ready for that particular raising of funds for the British Liver Trust and the Craft Along a live stream. And same with the Red Admiral Butterfly Workshop. That's a little bit sooner, on the 20th of January, so you have still got time, but I would get my skates on to get your box to make along the Red Admiral Butterfly with me. And that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for giving us the thumbs up. Thank you for supporting the makers. We really do appreciate it. And thank you for supporting the sub boxes. If you've got any questions at any point, get in touch, info@themakers.co.uk. Watch out for Alicia's Zoom advanced notices so that you can join in together and make the projects if you wish. And Everyone a Maker, our Facebook group, is ready there for you if you want to join it. Just answer 3 very simple questions so that we can make sure that you're there for the right reasons. And if you want to have a sneak peek at the surprise boxes for any month, but for this month too, then you can join our surprise box spoiler group on Facebook as well. We've also got Instagram, so if you want to follow us on there, it's just @themakers. And definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you next week. Bye everybody.